book nerds, how are you? Happy May. So we are going to dive in to a quick little recap of the books that I finished in the month of April. So I know I don't have my usual background going. My brother-in-law stayed with us and my library is used as the guest bedroom. It's kind of a multi-purpose space that way, and the bed is still up. And he's coming back, so we don't want to take it down and all of that. So I'm here just against one of my random walls in my library to bring bookish feedback to y'all. So let's dive on in. Okay, so April was not as good as the first quarter. So first quarter in January, I believe, was 19 books. February and March were both 17, and then April was 14 books of how many I finished. So we are going to dive through the books that I read. So, we don't always have a fabulous reading month. There were definitely a couple of times that I almost got into reading slumps. Didn't, because I would just kind of go through and figure out why and then pivot accordingly. And sometimes it was just a genre change that I needed, and that's okay. If you end up in a reading slump, it is perfectly fine and normal. So the books that I finished, we have The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. That book, 5 stars. Amazing, incredible. Everybody and their mama needs to read it. It is a fantastic contemporary romance, and that twist at the end, I did not see coming. So super fan of that book. That book was so good. I can understand why Rebecca got her start in contemporary romance, because she did that so phenomenally well, to where I pre-ordered The Last Letter that comes out in August. So I'm super, or at least the deluxe edition of it does. And so I pre-ordered that one. Super excited about it because she knows what she's doing. She is very good at what she does. So then I followed that up with Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mehrer. And that book was so cute. It was so cute and fun, and I love the wit and the banter with a little bit of romance thrown in there. And I just love that book. That book was so good. I'm so excited for the third one to come out again as well in August. Cannot wait. I rated that one 4.25 stars just because it was not like, it takes a lot. I had a lot of 5-star reads this month compared to what I normally do, but that one, it was close. It's 4.25, still a phenomenal book. Would recommend. So followed that one up with Funny Story by Emily Henry. And I had read Beach Read before, and Funny Story was also phenomenal. I also gave that one 5 stars. I guess I'm more of a romance reader than I used to give myself credit for. Happens like that sometimes. So finished Funny Story. I gave it 5 stars. Just the wit and like the unfortunate circumstances behind it, of how the two main characters ended up like coming together for everything, and for like the main love interest. And then there's another part of it I want to say, but I don't want to give any spoilers. So it is so good. Definitely recommend. Everyone should read it if you're into romance. So I followed that one, and then I finished Apprentice to the Villain, which is the sequel to Assistant to the Villain, and I gave this one 5 stars. This one was like, Hannah grew so much in her writing. I don't know how, but this one was even better than the first one, and so I have very high hopes for Accomplice to the Villain, which is the third book that comes out in August, I believe. It was phenomenal. I was laughing. I was like, oh, it was so good. It's like the perfect balance of like fantasy and whimsical, and a little like the romance involved in it is so good. It is just so good and so cute, but also like edge of your seat, like what is happening. So then we have Heaven Breaker by Sarah Wolf. This one was more of like a testing my preference for sci-fi books. And when I finished this book, the amount of grief I felt when I realized that the pre-order for the sequel was not ready yet was infuriating. I need the next book, because I think the next book is supposed to be called Hellraiser. Heavenbreaker was phenomenal. I am so excited for the next book. I need it in my life. We're just gonna go there. I need it in my life. So I ended up giving that one a 4.5. There were a couple of things I think could have been a little bit better. It wasn't necessarily a 5-star read, but it's like definitely right up there with like the games gods play, where I'm like, this is amazing. I need the next book now. So I'm super excited about the sequel. I need more information on it ASAP. So then I started the Powerless series after I finished Heavenbreaker. And now I understand why it has book talk and a chokehold. So I finished that one, gave it 4 stars. It was not a perfect read, but it was definitely one where I like immediately bought like the rest of the series that's out all the way through Fearless. So that one was such a great book. So good. Definitely like a unique type of fantasy story where it's about the people that don't have the magical powers as one of the main characters, like battling people that do, and it's usually someone who doesn't have powers and figures out that she does, and it's such a good book. Definitely recommend reading. Gave it 4 stars, and like 4 is not a bad rating. Like I tell my people at work this all the time, like if you get a 4 out of 5 on your performance review, you're doing something right. Like everybody should get a 3, because that means you're doing your job, you're meeting expectations, you're good. Like, no worries here. A 4 is exceptional, and then it's like you're above and beyond. A 5 is like, why have you not gotten promoted yet? So definitely a 4-star. So good. So good. And then I listened to a lot of these books, and so of course the series are kind of out of order, or like not sequential, because I had to wait on the next one to get released on Libby from being on hold. So I've ended up going to the Hawthorne Legacy next, which is the sequel to the Inheritance games. And so I gave that one a 4.5 stars. It was definitely good. I'm definitely excited to listen to the Final Gambit. I have that one on hold with Libby. So such a good series, definitely unique. It's definitely an easy listen. I think that's why I like it so much, is it's just an easy to listen to story. And it's been great, because whenever they do get released for me to borrow on Libby, they tend to be at the time where I'm like, I just need something that's an easy listen that I can knock out. Otherwise, I'm going to go into a slump. And that is kind of what those stories are. Very easy to listen to, very easy to follow along. Definitely keeps you at the edge of your seat. And like, it is a like entertaining story. But it is also just a very easy to listen to, very easy to get through, in my opinion. So the next book I wanted to love. I wanted it to be a 5-star read. The first one I thought was a 5-star read, but alas, The Rebel Witch was not. I ended up giving that one 3.75. Like, don't get me wrong, it was okay. It was good. Like, I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm going to keep it on my shelf, but it was not as good as Heartless Hunter. I think the series should have been a trilogy instead of a duology, because if a lot of things that happened in Rebel Witch felt very rushed, and like a lot of the context wasn't necessarily fleshed out like I think it could have been, which would have made it a great story. Like, the premise was phenomenal of how everything ended. I just think it needed to be fleshed out a little bit more. Because there were definitely some spots I was like, what is happening? Like, why? Like, what? And then there were other spots where I'm like, come on. We've been over this like 15 times. So it was like I don't know. It wasn't the best. It was a 3.75, so it's still good. Like, it still was like a meet expectations plus a little. Like, I'm gonna keep it, but it didn't excite me like the Heartless Hunter did. So do with that information what you will. So after The Rebel Witch, I dove into a series that was very, very popular when I was a kid. I think it was in like middle and high school when this was popular. And I have heard nothing but good things about one of the prequels. So I started diving in to The Hunger Games. And I'm very happy that I did. So I listened to The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. So I did not listen to them in order, but I'll go ahead and collapse all of them together. So Hunger Games I gave a 4.5, Catching Fire I gave a 4.25, and Mockingjay I gave a 4. So all 3 books were phenomenal. I just felt the last 2 didn't hit like The Hunger Games did. There are parts of Catching Fire that I absolutely adored, parts of Mockingjay that were good, but yeah, nothing hit like the original Hunger Games. I did try to listen to The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I think I needed to take a step from that world a little bit because I was like, I am not into it, so I DNF'd it for now. But I did keep that one on my TBR, and I also did remove my hold for Sunrise on the Reaping. I do want to read that one, I need a break. I need a break from that world, and then I will try again on the prequels for the Hunger Games series. That's kind of where we are at with that. I've read the original trilogy and thought they were phenomenal books. They were so good. Definitely enjoyed them. I do want to go back and watch the movies. I watched the movies a little bit when I was growing up when they came out. So I definitely want to go back and do that. Okay. Now I have a less than favorable rating. And this just kind of proves that I don't give everything above a 3-star. I give a lot of things a 3-star or above. But this one, I did not. I gave The Night We Lost Him by Laura David 2.5. I think I've just realized like that author, she and I, nah. I've tried to listen to one of her books and it was almost identical to The Lies He Told Me by James Patterson. And I was like, can't do it. Like, I feel like I'm just listening to the exact same story again, like almost verbatim. And then The Night We Lost Him, it was like, I predicted what was going to happen, like, within the first few chapters. It was very predictable. It didn't really keep me at the edge of my seat. It was very easy to listen, so I finished it. And it wasn't badly written. It was just kind of boring. And it was kind of, yeah, like I said, predictable. Yeah. It's one of those where I'm like, I'm never going to read that again. So I ended up donating that one. And then I went into The Island by Natasha Preston, and anyone who knows me knows I am a Natasha Preston stan. So I listened to The Island. That one was good. It was not my favorite out of her books, but it was definitely up there. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4. I read a total of 5 of her books, and yeah, I would probably put this at number 4. Probably the order in which I would put my favorite Natasha Preston's is probably the order I read them, actually. No, I put The Haunting above The Party. I would do The Haunting, The Party, The Fear, The Island, and then The Dare. I would probably put it in that order. No, The Fear was also really good. I don't know. But, yeah, this one would probably be number 4 or 5. It was definitely good, definitely worth keeping, definitely worth reading. But it was also, it was a 4.5. Fantastic book. But it was also not her best, which is kind of hard to say when it's a 4.5, but all of her other books that I've read outside of The Dare were absolutely phenomenal, and I loved it. So that's kind of where we're at with that one. Okay, y'all. I need this 3rd book. It does not come out till the beginning of December. It is already on pre-order. But I read The Night is Defying. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was even better than the first one. The first book was The Stars Are Dying. And that one was okay. The Night is Defying. Chloe found her footing. And it was phenomenal. And I'm obsessed. And so I think it's called The Darkness Descending. Something like that. Is coming out in December, and that's the 3rd book, and I think it's a trilogy, and I cannot wait for that one to come out. I'm so excited. The Night is Defying was so good. Definitely worth recommending. So I started the month with a romance. I ended the month with a romantasy, and quality of the books were phenomenal. count of the books, not as great, but we're still on track to read 200 books in the year 2025. And I am super excited. So we are just going to crush it and keep reading. And I need to give an honorable mention. I just finished Quicksilver today, and I'm obsessed. So I am going to go. We are having some friends over tonight, and so I'm going to go and finish setting up for that. And I will see y'all next time. Have a great reading week, and I'll see you later. Hi, Sophie girl. Hi, Pupper. Thank you. You go look down the bed? You going to bed? You want to lay down here? Come here. Okay. You can hang out with me. Hi. Thank you for whatever that was. Welcome to my life with my dog. She's just sniffing around. Okay, come on. Come here. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. There you go. There you go. All right. Goodbye. You want to go to bed? Or you want to sit with Mama? Okay. I don't know what she is up to, but she is on something else. Okay.